Hello everyone! Last time we began the story of Varian Wrynn, in which we spoke about his youth, Stormwind falling to the might of the Horde, him being kidnapped on his way to Theramore, until his eventual restoration into one single being. The reason for traveling to Theramore in the first place was to negotiate with Thrall, leader of the Horde, to see if some sort of peace between the Alliance and Horde was possible. Keep in mind that Varian had lost everything he ever knew to the orcs, so to sit down with them was a big step, but his son Anduin was at his side, giving him some solid advice. There was also Valera Sanguinar, who joined them for this meeting, while Thrall brought with him Rhaegar Earthfury and Garrosh Hellscream, son of Gromush. To make sure that their negotiations would go peaceful, both sides had agreed to lay down their arms before sitting down. Actually doing so right there in a moment. It proved to be a little bit more difficult, but it was once again Anduin showing the way by putting down his weapon first. There was a diplomat amongst them after all, and all of them followed his example, and then they sat down. They discussed their time as slave gladiators for Rhaegar, something which Thrall himself had also experienced with only at the hands of humans. They discussed what they might be able to trade with each other, but Garrosh thought that all of this was nonsense, a discussion fit for merchants. Why should the proud and powerful orcs make concessions when they have the strength to take what they want? To which Anduin, he countered his question by asking why they would waste warriors and resources in battle when a few words would bring them much greater profit. Against all odds, the negotiations were going well, and Thrall and Varian, they were getting along with each other. That is, until Garona Half-Orcan, the same Garona that had murdered Varian's father, she attacked at Theramore. She had been found by the ogre Cho'gall, someone who would work closely together with Gul'dan, and he knew about those magical spells placed on her mind. She was once again forced to fight, and accusations were quickly tossed around. Garrosh saw this as human treachery, while Varian, he recognized Garona immediately, and he believed that she was an assassin sent over by Thrall. It was clear to him that treachery still remained the orcs' main tool of diplomacy, while Thrall, he had no idea who this even was. Those that could look beyond their prejudice, they saw that races of both factions were fighting with Garona, but the damage was already done. Despite being able to fight back and even capture Garona, the negotiations at Theramore had failed. Jaina would continue the story with Garona and discover Cho'Gall's plans, but Varian and Thrall, they had to return home to focus their attention on the Scourge threat, since by this time, after the Lich King, he'd woken up and it was time to begin the expansion, Wrath of the Lich King. After repelling the initial invading force during the pre-event, both the Alliance and the Horde, they ventured forth into the cold heart of Northrend. High Lord Tyrion Fordring made a personal request to allow the recently freed Death Knights into the faction, and with their might at our side, we battled with the undead forces, but Varian himself, he didn't play a major part at the start. Instead, we saw heroes like Bolvar Fordragon take the stage, as both the Alliance and Horde, they tried to work together at the Wrathgate, but there, tragedy struck.
Arthas! The blood of your father, of your people, demands justice! Come forth, coward, and answer for your crimes!
You speak of justice, of cowardice. I will show you the justice of the grave and the true meaning of fear.
Enough talk! Let it be finished!
The Lich King was able to one-shot Draenor Saurfang, Varrock Saurfang's son, and he claimed his soul. On top of that, Sylvanas Windrunner and the Forsaken, they'd been developing a plague that would kill both the living and the undead. She was hell-bent on claiming vengeance for what Arthas did to her, but what she didn't know was that the Dreadlord Varimafras and Grand Apothecary Putris, they were not loyal.
You will pay for all the lives you've stolen, traitor!
Boldly stated, but there is nothing you can... What?
Did you think we had forgotten? Did you think we had forgiven? Behold now, the terrible vengeance of the Forsaken!
Sylvanas.
Death to the Scourge! And death to the living!
Isn't over. can see. This is the hour of the Forsaken.
We're finished. No escape for any of us.
Both the Alliance and Horde were hit hard by the Forsaken's devastating weapons. Sylvanas had not expected this betrayal, and she also lost her Undercity. Naturally, Varian was extremely pissed at what had happened. Sylvanas might have been betrayed by these people, but Thrall still allowed her to develop this plague in the first place. They had lost Bolvar Fordragon, the man who had always been there for him, had been trusted with ruling the kingdom in his stead, and had saved his life countless of times. It was time to make those responsible pay for their crimes, as both sides went in for the battle for the Undercity, but of course each of them had their own motivations.
Heroes of the Alliance, your king calls. Gather behind me at the entrance to the sewers. Hidden inside this defiled city is the wretch responsible for murdering our brothers and sisters at the Wrathgate. He must be brought to justice. The march upon the Undercity begins now. Be empowered by your king's strength. Follow me, heroes, for the glory of the Alliance. Soldiers fall in. Guard the halls. Your aberrations are no match for the Alliance, Putress. We're coming for you.
What's happened here? There are corpses everywhere. The stench. Overwhelming.
Horde. By the looks of the struggle, they're here in force. Somewhere. Stay alert and on guard. There's no telling what horrors await us.
Welcome to my kingdom of darkness. Did you enjoy my minion's terrible creation? Potent, is it not? But enough prattling. You wish to reclaim your city. Come then, heroes. Your souls will fuel the host. You will have this place back in pieces.
Great Water Spirit, wash away this corruption. Attack! Is that all, demon? Have you nothing left to throw at us? What is this?
Welcome to your future. What little there is left of it. Too long. Tireless, endless planning. It will not end like this. More time. The Master is near. I cannot hold. Destabilizing. You have failed me, Varian. 1,000 pardons, Master. I will deal with these intruders myself. Years wasted.
We are victorious! The Undercity belongs to the Horde once more! Loktar! There's nowhere to run, monster.
Stare into the abyss and watch as it blackens your souls! You are no match for my creations! This cannot be happening!
And justice is served. What say you now, Putress? Look around you, brothers and sisters. Open your eyes. Look at what they've done to our kingdom. How much longer will we allow these savages free reign in our world? I have seen the Horde's world. I've been inside their cities, inside their minds. I know what evil lies in the hearts of orcs.
The Undercity belongs to the Horde once more! Loktar!
Thrall, here. Onward! We end this now.
Varian, stop! I won't help you do this.
You should all know. The orcs have a battle cry. Loktar Ogar. It means victory or death. Fitting. To the throne room! I was away for too long. My absence cost us the lives of some of our greatest heroes. Trash like you and this evil witch were allowed to roam free, unchecked. But the time has come to make things right. To disband your treacherous kingdom of murderers and thieves. Putris was the first strike. Many more will come. I've waited a long time for this, Thrall. For every time I was thrown into one of your damned arenas. For every time I killed a green-skinned aberration like you. I could think of only one thing. What our world could be without you and your twisted Horde. It ends now, Warchief. Attack! For Stormwind! For Bolvar! For the Alliance!
Varian, no! Stop! It did not have to be like this.
It ends like it began. All that we have fought for in this world is lost. The hopes and dreams carried by my father and mother, by Doomhammer, gone.
The Alliance took down Putris, while the Horde dealt with Varian and they reclaimed the Undercity. The events at the Wrathgate, they didn't exactly help the relationship between the Alliance and the Horde, and who knows how this encounter would have ended if Jaina had not intervened. Things would only get worse at this point, as Garrosh had not changed his mind about the Alliance. Varian's hatred, it burned deep in his heart, and the old god Yogg-Saron was breaking out of his prison within Ulduar. This was such a serious threat to the world that both factions would have to take action, but as you might imagine, that didn't go over too well.
How could we have missed this until now? King Varian, thank you for coming on such short notice.
What's this all about, Ronan?
I've called you here to ask for your help. While our efforts against the Lich King press on, Bran here has brought us frightening news of the horrors beneath Ulduar, and of its dark prisoner.
Prisoner? Huh. With its binding shattered, its influence unchecked, it's gonna come after us, and we're gonna be the prisoners.
You can see now what we're up against. If this evil is not stopped, then the armies of the Death God will march on our doorstep.
You'll have to excuse me.
Well, what do you propose we do?
Thrall, what are you doing here so soon?
The summons sounded dire, Jaina. What's happened?
Bran Bronzebeard's forces assaulted the gates of Ulduar. They battled the Iron Lords and their cursed minions.
Evasive action! Evasive action!
He won't stop talking about this presence he felt, permeating the great halls, stirring in their minds, chilling their blood. He said, the horror that the Titans imprisoned so long ago, Yogg-Saron, has awakened.
I want to see this dwarf. Garrosh, to see the fear in his eyes. Then we'll know if he's telling the truth.
No, wait!
We are going to need all the help we can get if we are...
Thrall!
What are they doing here?
Let me explain.
I thought I smelled the stench of Alliance pigs. Control yourself.
You want my blood? Come then, dog.
He's mine.
Stop it!
We have all lost! A great deal in this conflict. But we stand to lose everything if we do not stop fighting and work together!
A true war chief would never partner with cowards.
At the Wrathgate, the Horde's partnership killed more of our men than the Scourge. I'm done with your Horde. May this Death God take you all. You disappoint me, Garrosh.
Varian refused to work together with the Horde, and Garrosh's actions, they greatly disappoint Thrall. The threat of Yogg-Saron was still out there though, so heroes from both factions, they ventured forth into the halls of Ulduar to push him back into his prison. The war against the Lich King, it was still going on, and High Lord Tyrion Fordring, he decided it would be a good idea to hold a little tournament, to see who was worthy to join them in their assault upon Icecrown Citadel.
King Varian, Lady Jaina, welcome to the tournament. Your place in the Colosseum is waiting.
Thank you. It's the least I can do to support this. We need to stand together.
You ask much of me, Tyrion. To sit and watch, trusting the savages to keep themselves in check.
My people are here to ensure that they honor the rules of engagement. It will do your subjects well to see you in the stands.
I'm sure Thrall will have his people under control.
Perhaps. I doubt the effectiveness of this gambit. We'd be better served preparing our armies for the final assault. But if my presence is required in these games to gain your support in the battle, then I will remain. For now.
Now of course, not only the Alliance was invited, the Horde also joined the tournament.
Garrosh, I expect you to control yourself here. I do not want a repeat of the Violet Citadel. Ha! That was a show of strength worthy of a leader. I only regret I did not kill that human before the mage interfered. We are guests here, Garrosh, and you will conduct yourself honorably. What honor is there in thrashing about with blunted sticks? This is a waste of time.
Notice how Garrosh and Varian, that they have very similar views not only towards the other faction, but also the tournament itself. These two at this point in the story, they're very much alike, and we see this again during the tournament itself. One of the encounters is started by Wilfred Fizzlebang, who has just summoned our next challenge, but he's unable to keep control of Jeraxus, Editor Lord of the Burning Legion, and our challenge just became a little bit more serious.
Treacherous Alliance dogs! You summon a demon lord against warriors of the Horde? Your deaths will be swift.
The Alliance doesn't need the help of a demon lord to deal with Horde filth. Come, pig.
Wilfred was working on his own of course, but the damage had already been done. This is where the difference in faction happens for the tournaments. As an Alliance player, you're pitched against champions of the Horde, while as a Horde player, Varian will say,
Our honor has been besmirched. They make wild claims and false accusations against us. I demand justice. Allow my champions to fight in place of your knights, Tyrion. We challenge the Horde.
Very well. I will allow it. Fight with honor.
Fight for the glory of the Alliance, heroes. Honor your king and your people.
Regardless of what side you're fighting for, Tyrion will be disappointed all the same, claiming that this was a shallow and tragic victory. We are weaker as a whole from the losses suffered here today, despite him allowing the challenge to happen in the first place. Ah well, at least we've proven ourselves worthy of joining the Arctic Crusade and their assault upon Icecrown Citadel, and you might imagine Varian and Arthas having some sort of interaction with each other, considering that they've been childhood friends and all that, but that didn't really happen.
Never! I will never serve you!
In the end, you will all serve me.
Instead, we discover that Bolvar 4 Dragon is in the hands of the Lich King, he's being tormented, and there might still be a chance to quell the unrest between the Alliance and the Horde if they're able to save the Paladin. Both Muradin and Saurfang, they rush to their ships to take the upper citadel, and in the sky, they have a little fight with each other to decide who gets to save Bolvar and restore peace between the factions. Why not simply work together, you might ask? Very good question. Either way, one of the factions will shoot the other out of the sky, and before they can move further into the citadel, they must first face another victim of the Wrathgate.
Join me, Father. Join me, and we will crush this world in the name of the Scourge, for the glory of the Lich King.
Dranosh Saurfang now turned into a Death Knight, and I don't believe that they've ever confirmed which side of the story is the real event lore-wise, but for the sake of Varian's story, I'll go with the Alliance version.
A lone orc against the might of the Alliance? Charge!
Dwarves.
Muradin laughs at this lone orc that thinks that he can stand against the might of the Alliance, but Dranosh is unimpressed. It's up to us to bring peace to Varrok's son, and as we do, the father shows up to claim the body of his only son.
I am released.
That was Saurfang's boy, the Horde commander at the Wrathgate. Such a tragic end. What in the... There in the distance! Soldiers, fall in! Looks like the Horde are coming to take another shot! Don't force me hand, orc. We can't let you pass.
Behind you lies the body of my only son. Nothing will keep me from him.
I can't do it. Get back on your ship and we'll spare your life.
Stand down, Muradin. Let a grieving father pass.
No Ko kills Ilnok, Atar. I will not forget this kindness. I thank you, Highness.
I was not at the Wrathgate, but the soldiers who survived told me much of what happened. Your son fought with honor. He died a hero's death. He deserves a hero's burial. Jaina, why are you crying?
It was nothing, Your Majesty. Just... I'm proud of my king.
Muradin, secure the deck and prepare our soldiers for an assault on the upper citadel. I'll send out another regiment from Stormwind.
Varian shows respect and honor to Varrock, an orc of the Horde who appreciates his kindness. Quite a drastic change from the Varian that we saw only a few patches back, wishing for the Horde to be taken by the Death God. Perhaps the words of Tyrion during the tournament had some influence on him. Perhaps Sourfang is such a badass that he can make even Varian change his mind. But this was one of the first signs of the road that they planned for Varian. He wouldn't show up for the rest of the expansion with the fight against the Lich King. That honor was for Tyrion forging. And at the end, with Arthas the Lich King defeated, Bolvar took the role as Jailer of the Damned. It's interesting when you compare the story of Garrosh and Varian with each other, whereas right now they're very similar in their mindset, right? But it would soon drift apart, with Garrosh diving even further into his desire for blood, and Varian actually doing the opposite. He would have to learn to live with both his Logash side and his King Varian side, take lessons from people like Jaina and his son Anduin. The road before him is still a long one, but this is where we'll end the story for today. As always, thank you very much for watching everyone, subscribe if you like my videos, leave a like if you enjoyed this one, and until next time guys, see ya!